Let's finish off, everybody, with Le Classique as Marseille host PSG. Sampaoli against Pochettino. Talking about Argentina, by the way, this is what we have. By the way, some news for you. Obviously, we talk about the Velodrome effect here, the home of Marseille, but PSG fans have been banned from attending the match. Unsurprisingly, I must say, after violence continues to darken French football. Look, it's not just PSG fans. Marseille actually have been the recipient of many issues already in Liga, so this is a big deal here. But let's talk about this game. Jimmy, let's begin with you. How do you see this one? Marseille, PSG. PSG top, Marseille third. And by the way, all this talk we're talking about PSG, oh my God, they're in trouble. They're like pretty comfortable leading the Liga here.
Yes, they are pretty comfortable, and PSG have won 11 out of 13. So even though there feels like there's a lot of uncertainty around the club, they're still getting the results. They haven't maybe hit those heights that I think everybody expects given the amount of talent they have on the roster, but it's not gloom and doom as I think a lot of people like to make it out to be. Really quick about the fans. The ones that crack me up the most are the Nice fans because it's spelled nice, and they're not nice at all. Like
No.
They're not nice fans. So I just want to throw that bad dad joke in there. What I'll say is that the last time they played in Marseille, it was 2-0 PSG. PSG also won in one of the cups 2-1. Now, there's a famous game back in 2020 where there was like 18 red cards at the end of the game, and everybody was upset. And Neymar got a red card in the 98th minute. 3 red cards for PSG, 2 for Marseille. There's a lot of history here, a lot of friction between these two particular clubs. My concern really is more about tired legs. We saw that Benj talked about it with an earlier one. I think that Lazio and Marseille play on a Thursday. PSG, had a great comeback against RB Leipzig to win 3-2. Messi scored 2 in that one. They should have made it 4-2. Mbappe missed the penalty. I just think that couple extra days of rest will end up making a difference because PSG can step on the throats a little bit more of Marseille. They can try to play on the front foot and really lean into them maybe being a little bit tired because Marseille had to travel to Italy to play against Lazio. And we know with Maurizio Sarri being in charge of Lazio, they're going to want to keep the ball a little bit more and move Marseille around. I really do think that hurts them in this particular match. So that's one of interest. Marseille actually having an okay season, but ran into a winless run of 4. They just beat Lorient last week 4-1. So that kind of gets them back into feeling good about themselves. We'll see how they play against Lazio. But one player to keep in mind is Dimitri Payet. I think that he's been fantastic. 34-year-old. He has 5 goals and 4 assists. He's really something special right now. I don't know what he's doing different. We always knew he was talented, but could he keep up that form consistently? He's always been, I think, the big question mark for him. His area of the field, he played as a false 9 in a lot of the games this year, but then Milik has come back and now is playing up top. And I think that if Milik plays and he's healthy and Payet can kind of like float and go around, I think that could hurt PSG a lot. They're going to give up some goals, but ultimately I like PSG to do it. I just think they're starting to find who they are and what they're about. And we could argue maybe they're better without Neymar on the team because I thought Mbappe and Messi were pretty dangerous when Neymar wasn't involved.
Yeah, the roots of these types of rivalries in France are pretty deep in terms of where they come from, right? Obviously, Marseille being sort of the entry point of Europe for a lot of the immigrants and what they stand for the sort of blue-collar community versus Paris, which is metropolitan, and then Nice is which they consider the most French or a little more of the nationalist type of Lyon being more of a traditional French and things like that. So there's all these different ties. And if you go onto the actual Wikipedia page of the history of this, it's one of the longer Wikipedias you'll find in terms of like, it's wild. It's got a section for all the controversies of this rivalry. It's got a section for all of the violence of this rivalry. Dimitri Payet, by the way, one of the guys who is the instigator for one of the big old issues that happened, I think is September 2020, last time that Marseille won this one. PSG have been far better traditionally since the takeover where they've dumped a lot more money. I think Marseille have only won once or twice out of like 20 plus meetings since that takeover. So when Marseille are up near the top of the table, which they are now having a decent season, I like their chances. But PSG, even if they rotate right now and they were to drop these points, they're not in need of the points. They're cruising so much in the league right now that they can be a little more relaxed than a Marseille can, who need these 3 points to stay in a title race.
Yeah, what intrigues me about PSG is what will happen when they inevitably take the lead. I think you sort of see in the Champions League, I'm loath to engage in stereotypes, but watch me do it. They do get quite diffident, quite disinterested, and they sort of are like, right, wake me up when the game's over or when I need to win the game again. And when they're ahead, they've been ahead for 129 minutes in the Champions League this season, only created about 1.4 xg in that time, because they don't seem yet to have got into the habit of killing games off. I think they just sit back and settle. And I do wonder how that will balance out against a Marseille team which has a manager that will fight from minute 1 to minute 90 and has an awful lot of players, not least Matteo Guendouzi, who will fight from about 2.5 hours before kickoff through to about Tuesday afternoon, I would say.
Everything that Marseille is about, basically.
Yeah, you can tell, God, he's such a good, you know why he didn't quite work at Arsenal and why he's working fantastically at Marseille. Been really impressed with what he's done. And he does bring that sort of fighting spirit, put that in the Velodrome. Maybe that all of these circumstances do just force PSG to wake up, get the game won, and then deal with things from there. I mean, for all I'm saying, this could be a bit of a banana skin. You still have to assume that PSG will win. And I agree with Jimmy. I think I don't think it necessarily has to be without Neymar, but I prefer them with 2 of the 3 than all 3 of the big 3. I think it all gets a bit squashed. Messi gets in Verratti's way. Neymar doesn't get the ball where he wants it. And Mbappe doesn't get the ball where he wants it. So you've got to assume that PSG will win this quite comfortably, but I do think they need to up their intensity levels a little bit.